Welcome everyone to the 8th podcast of the VALPRO Path project. My name is Tamara Gleshich-Krivoshia. I'm a business consultant with Foodscale Hub, the organization in charge for dissemination, exploitation, and communication activities within our project. Today we have with us Dr. Tryfonas Kekes from the National Technical University of Athens, a researcher engaged within the Laboratory of Process Analysis and Design. His team, led by Professor Magdalini Krokida, is leading the work within the VALPRO Path project related to the environmental assessment and the social impact assessment within our projects. We welcome you today on our podcast. So first of all, I would like to ask you, since most of us are not familiar with what an LCA is, can you please explain a little bit more what an LCA is and what is the purpose of such an assessment?
So first of all, thank you very much, Tamara. It's a pleasure to be here. You nailed the two names. And regarding the LCA, every product, every process requires some amounts of energy or some auxiliary materials or some raw materials. This has an impact on the environment. LCA is a methodology certified by ISO 14040 and 14044, which can make these inputs of raw materials, energy, electricity, natural gas, and so on, and quantify them to the impact in the environment in various categories. So, for example, the major category that an LCA can provide is the carbon footprint, which many products nowadays have it in their label. Moreover, we can also see and evaluate the performance in metal depletion, fossil depletion, or in some metrics like freshwater consumption. So LCA, to sum up, is a tool, a methodology that can express the damage or the impact a process or a product has in the environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for this detailed answer. So as we've seen so far, we have a business case related to the development of Fava bean beverage. And the work you have done so far with your team on this has been substantial. Can you please explain a little bit more on the environmental impact of developing a Fava bean alternative beverage?
Okay, so beverages are, amongst the most consumed products worldwide, and consumers really love to take a beverage and drink it. Nowadays, we can see that there is a shift towards alternative sources of protein compared to conventional beverages, and there is a rapid growth in consuming plant-based beverages like a beverage based on fava beans. The key idea is that fava bean is a good legume because it has it's resilient in water stress. It doesn't require a lot of water to irrigate it or even at all, depending on the pedoclimatic region. And also, it has the possibility to be a nitrogen fixation plant. So it can also be used in crop rotations in order to enhance the productivity for wheat in upcoming periods of cultivation. So the idea is to encompass in the context of plant-based beverages some legumes that are both sustainable and also have good sensory characteristics.
I understand. And if we compare them, when you do an environmental assessment, so do you compare them to animal beverages, so milk, or do you do it with soy beverages?
Both. Their main competitor are the soya ones.
Soya ones.
But because nowadays many people have lactose intolerance or they want to cut ties with a diet that is strictly related to animals or so on, there is a rapid growth also in the plant-based diet and plant-based beverage. So in order to have a comprehensive idea, we have to both compare it to a conventional milk beverage and to other plant-based beverages.
Okay, so we can say that a fava bean beverage is a competitor to oats, for example, oat milk, because it doesn't have any allergic effects like oat milk can have. Okay, so I suppose in your work you had some challenges to identify if the fava bean is sustainable or not. Can you tell us more about that? Have you first encountered any obstacles?
We have obtained several obstacles in every research project. In every idea we can face some difficulties. And I have to mention that it's not related to Fava. It's related to everything. So, for example, even for oats, you have to find the right pedoclimatic region to cultivate them, or for soya, or so on. The main advantage of Fava beans is that they are so resilient, they can be cultivated in numerous countries. So we can also optimize the logistics, optimize the production of the beverage, and so on. They are so resilient that they can help us, overcome some of the challenges.
Okay, so for example, we've also seen in the presentation we had within the VALPRO Path project that the packaging also plays an important role in the sustainability. So how does this also combine with the LCA assessment, the packaging of the food products?
Apart from having superior sensorial characteristics, the first thing that the consumer sees is the packaging material. So it has to be pretty
Okay.
to engage the consumers, and it also has to be sustainable. And the good thing is that nowadays in Europe there is a shift for cutting out the plastics and using recyclable. So in our analysis and generally in our work, we try to select appropriate packaging materials that can be recycled and are more environmentally friendly, but also they are, pretty to the consumers.
I understand. Interesting view. So tell me, please, when looking ahead, how do you see the market for plant beverages developing? So what is the next step in this market?
I think that the future is bright for this kind of products because through surveys we have seen that the public opinion is getting better and better about this kind of products. Also, the consumers are more keen and more familiar to this kind of products. So the work that has been done in the previous years to find substitutes to a diet based on animals or to cut ties with milk or some conventional products has been fruitful. And nowadays consumers are more keen on buying some beverages that are not so familiar or not so conventional, like a Fava bean-based beverage. So I believe that if we highlight the sustainability of the product, combine it with recyclable packaging material, and the nature of the consumers nowadays in Europe that they are keen on trying new things, they will find for sure their place in the market and they will have a big share.
Okay, and just to conclude this conversation with the question related to byproducts and waste. So I suppose this is also a great part of the environmental assessment. So how does Fava bean products play in this field?
Fava beans, the main solid waste is their hulls. They have to be dehulled and then proceed to milling and to produce the flour and then the protein isolate. So this hull can be used either for energy recovery via gasification or similar processes, or it can also be utilized as a component for animal feed. So in the context of circular economy and the continuous growth of this idea and concept within the European Union and with the European funded projects, solid waste can be valorized, and especially in our case in VALPRO Path, we will try to explore the valorization of the solid waste in the context of circular economy.
Okay. I think that would be all. I do not have any more questions. Thank you very much for participating in today's podcast. So we can conclude that Fava bean is something that is worth exploring within our VALPRO Path project, and of course as well in the European market in the future to come. Thank you very much, and hope to see you next time. Please subscribe and like our VALPRO Path channel.